Jordan has Nick Anderson. He fights for position. Does the fadeaway. Too strong. Longley.
To score tonight. Very embarrassed by game 1 performance. But there we have it again. Scottie Pippen going right by.
Here on Sunday. And things have really gone sour for him at the line. He is now 15 of 53 in the last 4 games and a couple of minutes. Posting up. O'Neal with a double team that leaves Rodman open.
That's that kind of outlet pass. Shaq does a great job. I don't know who he was passing that long outlet pass to.
Here's Hardaway off the screen. That's for 3. Nope. Rodman with the rebound. Jordan. Over Anderson.
Oh, beautiful shot. What great defense by Anderson. Right in Jordan's face. I don't know if I saw snake bite. He was close. He had his hand up to the ball in his face. Michael just made a beautiful shot.
For those of you who have not. Oh, here's Jordan with a steal. Pippen on the right side. Jordan takes it all the way. And is short with the layup. Anderson tracks it down, but is on the line. For those of you who weren't with us a couple of weeks ago, we had a seminar on snake bites.
Yes. Right here, though, Penny just makes a careless pass. Doesn't see Michael going over the top on the pick. Goes to the fast break basket, but great defense coming back. Dennis Rodman, great hustle on Jordan's missed layup.
With a bad back. Here's Hardaway at the other end. He'll penetrate. Ah, dandy.
Beautiful. This is why Penny Hardaway, he's got the whole game. Right here, he just drives in over the big people. Beautiful touch off the glass. Clyde, very active on the offensive boards, Orlando.
4:27 to go, opening quarter. Scott misses the 3. Wennington with the rebound.
Was in trouble.
Jordan fights through the screen and continues to guard Shaw. 10 on the shot clock with 3:23 to go in the opening quarter. Hardaway over Pippen. Nope.
Yeah, his name is Ennis Scott in Orlando. He just opened a restaurant called 3D, and I thought he should have called it No D.
2:48 to go, opening quarter. Hardaway, jump hook. Hardaway posting up, guarded by Pippen.
Hardaway having a tough time getting the ball into the post against Pippen.
On the miss, Jordan with a rebound.
On Harper anticipating weak side. And here they go down to one of their best plays. Penny Hardaway, there's a lot of traffic around there with Jordan, Pippen, and Harper. He can't even get the ball in the post, has to step out, settle for the long-range 3-point shot.
Good coach, Rodman. They're going to get Anthony Bowie for tangling with Dennis Rodman.
I don't think they're going to call a double foul. They're just trying to tangle up. Both of them inadvertently, well, I don't know if it was inadvertent, but they got tangled up at the other end. But Dennis Rodman is showing he's making them pay, saying, hey, you guys double team off of me, I'm going to hit that shot. And he's doing it against pretty good players. Right here, you see him get a great rebound. Just throws Luke Longley out of the way. Says, hey, Luke, these are my boards.
Now, what does it say, though, about the potential demise of civilization as we know it, that his book is #1 on the New York Times bestseller list?
I have no comment on that, Vern.
Oh, dear. Here's Kerr, Longley. Nice cut. Good coach. Here's Rodman. I keep thinking of Chuck Daly, who's got to be watching this game and smiling. Contact, a little full court pressure applied now by Chicago. Hardaway picked up by Scottie Pippen. An 8-point lead, largest lead of the game has been 10. And we've got 6.5 to play in the opening quarter. Regular season series won by Chicago. Here's Hardaway, 3 games to 1. 10 on the shot clock. Into O'Neal. Back to Hardaway. Nice penetration by Penny Hardaway for the Anderson. Orlando's done a good job of protecting the ball tonight. Here's O'Neal over Rodman. Offensive board. Rodman comes out of there, finds Pippen. He pulls up, goes to Kukoc. There's Hardaway guarded by Pippen. 3:12 to go first half. Boy, what a matchup that is, huh? Offensive board.
There's Shaq giving Dennis some of his own medicine, just using that big body to create the offense. Right here we see Dennis or we see Anthony Hardaway backing down, gets a good look, but had to work awful hard for that shot.
Hardaway left open. Hands a three. The first four. Here's Anderson saving it for Orlando. Jordan picks him up in the backcourt. Pippen comes to the trap. Scottie Pippen back to Michael Jordan. Beautiful.
Trying to get this crowd in the game. Right here just turns Nick Anderson. Nick shouldn't be handling the ball full court against Michael anyway. Great play by Scottie getting the ball back to Michael for the dunk.
8:39 to go third quarter and a 14-point lead. Jordan doubling down on O'Neal. O'Neal saves it. But they're going to have a shot clock violation.
Beautiful defense by Michael. Michael made it very difficult for them to get the ball into Shaq on the low post. Brian Hill needs to make some adjustments.
Brian Hill has called an Orlando timeout. O'Neal gets it. 5 on the shot clock. Rodman. And the rebound to Jordan. Here comes Scottie Pippen. Shaw's there.
Again, good defense by Orlando sealing the play.
Are you kidding me?
Well, we see Shaq, who has absolutely no respect for Dennis's offensive game, is playing Dennis 2 feet from the basket when Dennis has the ball 8 feet away. Dennis making him pay all night.
With a jump shot. Rodman is now 5 of 7 from the field. He's got 12 points. Double comes from Pippen. That leaves Hardaway open. No. Jordan with another rebound.
Right here, Dennis Rodman showing his great acting talents. Gets hit in the face, but then watch the double pump, flop, going back. Good defense, though, by Dennis, causing Shaq to catch the ball way outside of the paint.
Rodman with a Luganis.
This crowd is going crazy. Michael's got the hot hand. They got to find a way to score some points. It's a big possession.
O'Neal guarded by Rodman. Pippen with the double team, and the foul is called on Bushler, I believe.
Defense has lost its intensity, its confidence, its attitude that has started this game with. Right now, they're having trouble even getting into their offensive sets.
Jordan goes for the steal on Scott. Pippen is there with a quick hands. Bushler from behind, out of bounds. Judd Bushler and Michael Jordan combined on that steal.
Well, as Orlando...
15-point lead at halftime is all but evaporated.
You know, Vern, everybody always talks about Chicago's great offense, and they do have a good offense, make no mistake about it, but this defense is awesome, and that's what teams need to worry more about, trying to find a way to score.
Pippen goes for the steal, gets the jump ball.
Vern, they can't even make an entry pass. Chicago's contesting every single pass on the perimeter. Guys are so active. Orlando can't even get the ball into right here. They keep crossing. Penny Hardaway brings Scottie Pippen right over in front of Dennis Scott, trying to get the ball. Scott can't get rid of it out of the trap.
Back to Hardaway. Kukoc trying to guard him. Penny takes it to the hole. No. Brian Shaw guarded by Steve Kerr. Under 10 minutes to go. First tie in the game since we were at 2-all. Anderson again in that. And Chicago with a chance to reclaim the lead. Pippen. No basket. Deficit. Harper guards Shaw. Entry pass. Back to Anderson now. Here's Scott. O'Neal only 4 points in the corner. And Pippen with a steal. Underneath, Ron Harper. What a dandy heads-up play at both ends of the court for Scottie Pippen.
Well, beautiful anticipation by Scottie Pippen. He knows they're going into Shaq sometime. They've taken away the aggressiveness. The other players just standing around on the perimeter, watching the ball go into Shaq. Beautiful execution after the turnover by Chicago.
O'Neal out on the perimeter. Now tries to get his position. Rodman comes in front, makes the steal. Here's Randy Brown, who was fouled by Penny Hardaway.
And again, that was good defense by Rodman fighting over the top of Shaq, but it was the pressure defense by Randy Brown. He was all over the ball. Pippen gives him a good bump, slows him down, going down to the block, but we can't see it there on the screen. But Randy Brown was all over Brian Shaw. Couldn't see Dennis Rodman coming around the weak side.
Jordan guarded by Shaw. Oh, the dandy rebound from Dennis Rodman. Time quickly. Shaw guarded by Kerr. Looks for O'Neal. Traveling. No. Offensive foul on O'Neal.
You know, Dennis Rodman is playing very aggressive defense all over Shaq, pushing him, holding him, grabbing him, doing the playing defense the way he should. Shaq just tries to get Dennis off his arm and gets called for an offensive foul.
Rodman gets one of two. Full court pressure applied by the Bulls.
Scottie Pippen did a great job right there. Maybe that's the answer. Scottie Pippen won't let Penny Hardaway catch the ball. But Penny Hardaway, as great a player as he is, has to demand the ball.
Hardaway waits left side. Shaw now gets it in his hands. 10 on the shot clock, 65 to play. 65 seconds, that is. Hardaway stripped and knocked out of bounds with 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Another big defensive play by Pippen and Harper, sealing off the drive by Hardaway.
Scott, 3 on the shot clock. Oh, big block by Jordan. And a shot clock violation. Michael Jordan.
And we can see Michael, he's limping a little bit, grimacing as he's walking down. Those calves and those cramps are hurting. But hey, a minute to go in the game, you got to grind it out. Had a big advantage. Scott knew that he had to shoot it. Jordan knew Scott had to shoot it. A tough situation for Dennis Scott.
Steve Kerr comes on now for the Bulls. We talked about the great defensive team they have, Danny, and they've really shown their mettle here in the last 17 minutes.
Oh, there's no question, Vern. They've only scored 18 points, Orlando has, in the last 17 minutes of the game. And they've done a good job on Shaq. Shaq had some good spurts. They just doubled the heck out of him the second he touched the ball the entire second half.
Underneath, the dunk is good. Scott, it's over. The Bulls are up 2-0. Michael Jordan with 17 in the third quarter. And let's quickly check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Michael, you guys were down 18 in the third quarter. The defensive pressure was relentless. What changed?
As you say, we went into halftime, and I think we had time enough to make adjustments to the way they made adjustments after game one. And defensively, we felt that, you know, Shaq did a lot of work in the first half, so we figured he was a little tired, but we were going to try to double team him anyway. And we were able to shut down their scores. And, you know, we moved up the pressure on the defensive end, and we created a lot of turnovers and got right back in the ballgame.
Did you feel like you had to carry the offensive burden in the third quarter?
Well, I'm the leader of this ball club, and I got to do something to try to get people involved if I feel it's stagnant. And, you know, we didn't really play particularly well today offensively. And, you know, I had a chance to open it up for the team and get everybody involved. Once I got a couple of steals, everybody started to believe, and we started working harder.
I know I'll let you go in. Your legs are cramping up, but how bad are they?
You know, I just got tired. You know, I really pushed myself, and I think everybody did, and I just started cramping up a little bit. But, you know, for a win, I take it.
It wouldn't be right for the MVP to lose on the night he gets the trophy anyway. Thanks, Michael. Let's go back to Vern.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who the guy was in this country who voted him 4th in the MVP race. Well, we have been joined by Scottie Pippen. Danny just made the point, Scottie, that he hadn't seen a better defensive effort in years in that second half from you guys.
Well, we knew for us to win this ball game, we had to come out and play some good defense second half. This is a team that can score a lot of points, and we realized that coming into this series against them. So we let them get off to a good start in the first half due to the fact that Horace wasn't playing. We really didn't have a feel for this ball club, but we were able to figure them out in the second half.
Well, Scottie, Shaq dominated the game so much in the first half down in the low post. In the second half, you guys decided to double team him, but you didn't even have to double team him most of the time because you guys were able to extend your defense on the perimeter, and they had a tough time even getting the ball into their offense.
Well, they had them losing the first game, so they had the opportunity to make some adjustments, and it kind of affected us the first half. But the second half, we made some adjustments at halftime and gave it some different looks, and it was a different in the ball game.
Well, you just missed a triple-double tonight. 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. And really a terrific job on Penny Hardaway tonight, Scottie.
Well, it was a lot better job than what I did on him on Sunday. You know, Penny's an explosive player, and I know he's tough for me to try to defend, but the thing I try to do is keep the ball out of his hand and not allow them not to be able to run their offense.
Of course, you've really just held serve now. You've got to go down to Orlando.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we got to go there and try to get a game. And the first game would be the best one. So when we go in their arena, we know it's a tough place to play. It's a tough place for us to win. But, you know, I think we got a lot of confidence against this team now.
Scottie, talking about Penny Hardaway, you know, you did a great job of denying him the ball, but it didn't seem like when you guys were playing that full court pressure defense, it didn't even seem like he was touching the ball. They were letting Dennis Scott, Nick Anderson, and Brian Shaw get him into their offense.
Well, I think it was the fact that, you know, I try to work him throughout the game, and he plays a heavy minutes as well as myself. And, you know, when that stage of the game come, I feel like my defense has been a factor throughout the whole game and not just in the second half. So I felt like he was a little fatigued as well as myself.
Great game.
Scotty, congratulations to you and the rest of the Bulls. They come from 18 down in the third quarter, and they wind up winning it by 5, 93-88 the final, as Chicago goes up 2-0 in the series. And just one tiny bit of drama remaining. Dennis Rodman finds an unusual character to give the jersey to.